I'm Addie, an adipocyte, or fat cell in the human body. I'm kind of a big deal around here. I hang out with all my buddies until the body needs me. When I'm by myself though, I get a little lonely, and that makes me sad. My tears are magical. They flow into the blood and are able to travel throughout the whole body, but tend to gather around the hypothalamus. These tears of sadness activate a neuron which opens a door and lets out NPY and AGRP. They are kind of selfish and don't like to share the body with our neighbors from the thyroid, TSH, and ACTH. But boy, do these guys like to eat. They will do anything to get some food in their mouths. Everyone loves when NPY and AGRP come out to play. A few adipocytes gather at first, but soon it's a party and we're laughing so much that tears are streaming down our little faces. Did I mention earlier that our tears are magical? With so many of us, a lot of tears are flowing through the blood. At the hypothalamus, these tears of happiness activate a neuron that releases alpha MSH and CART. Alpha MSH and CART like to hang out at the thyroid and play with their friends TSH and ACTH. Together they act pretty crazy. Although my tears are magical, they don't act alone. My friends Gretchen, Cece, and Insula help to regulate short-term feeding behavior. Hi, I'm Gretchen, the peptide called ghrelin. When your stomach is empty, I get pretty chilly and start to shiver. This causes the rumbling of your stomach. Sorry for all the commotion. In order to warm up, I take a swim through the bloodstream. During my swim, I love to let NPY and AGRP out to play, and they demand to be fed. Hello, hey, how's it going? My name is cholecystokinin, or CCK. For short, people just call me CC. I love fatty foods, ice cream, cake, cookies, bacon. Yum, bacon. I need to go make some breakfast. Anyways, when fatty foods come to the intestines, I am so there. The signals of gastric distension and I both talk to the vagus nerve, resulting in the inhibition of eating behaviors. Go team! First off, I apologize on Cece's behalf. Her sugary diet makes her a little high-strung, but she means well. Anyways, my name is Insula, and I am the hormone insulin. I just recently got out of a bad relationship with glucose. Whenever I am around in the blood, he is very hard to find. Relationships stink. I am very thankful for Addie though, she is my best friend. We are so close that we have almost become the same person. The mechanism I use to control feeding behavior is very similar to the function of Addie's tears.
Much like crack, dopamine can be addicting, at least to rats according to a study in the 1950s by Olds and Milner from McGill University in Canada. In the experiment, a lever connected an electrode directly to the brain, specifically the ventral tegmental area through the lateral hypothalamus. When the lever was hit, the electrode stimulated the brain for dopamine release. Much like drug addicts, the rats got so into hitting the lever that they neglected basic life necessities such as food and water to continue getting doped up. Even after removing the electrode and supplying the junkie rats with amphetamines via the lever to stimulate dopamine release, they hit the lever equally as much. Food is known for causing a release of dopamine, hence stress eating. When dopamine release was blocked using receptor-inhibiting drugs, rats eat notably less because it did not make them happy. Even when presented with food, the rats seemed to like it but did not necessarily want to eat because it didn't make them as happy. Similarly, with monkeys, if they got a sip of juice, dopamine signaling increased. When paired with a flashing light, the monkeys got accustomed to the pleasurable experience of the juice, and the light alone resulted in an increase of dopamine signaling. This response was deemed reward prediction. These responses explain why dopamine-dependent drugs such as amphetamines, cocaine, and even chocolate are so addictive.
Like the desire to eat, the desire to drink is a result of physiological signals. These signals activate the somatic motor system through the lateral hypothalamus. One way that your body regulates itself is by telling you when it needs a drink. When our blood decreases in volume, hypovolemia, our body activates something called volumetric thirst. In addition, kidneys recognize that there is less blood flowing to them than normal. Major blood vessels will also realize that the pressure on their walls isn't as great as it usually is. Eventually, after areas of the body are activated and signals are sent, water retention is increased and blood vessels constrict to increase blood pressure. The second way that thirst is brought onto the body is by hypertonicity of the blood. This means that the concentration of water is greater inside the body cells than it is in the blood. Water gets drawn out of the cells to compensate for this. This movement of water triggers a thirst behavior called osmometric thirst. Cells in our body are programmed for optimum performance at a very particular temperature, which most of us know as 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. Deviations from this are detected by temperature-sensitive neurons in the hypothalamus. When body temperature is lowered, the body sends signals to increase cellular metabolism. Blood vessels are constricted, shivering starts, and we are motivated to seek warmth. When temperatures rise, the opposite happens. Cells dilate, metabolism is slowed, sweating begins, and we are motivated to seek shade.